Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast News. I am Oinita. Let me run you through the top headlines in today morning's The Sentinel. First up, we are continuing with our reporting on the news about encroachments on government lands, not just government land. In fact, according to the Deputy Commissioner, Kamrup Metro's report to the Guwahati High Court, there has been encroachments, land encroachments across sectors, not just government land. Now, further to that particular case, now the Assam government has instructed all deputy commissioners and the subdivisional officers to carry out detailed surveys of all lands encroached across Assam. So yesterday, what we reported in our newspaper was about the deputy commissioner's report as far as land encroachment in and around Kamrup Metro is concerned. Now, taking cognizance of what has been going on in Guwahati, in and around Kamrup Metro area, the Assam government has directed all the deputy commissioners of all the 33 districts to conduct similar survey about encroachments that has been taking place. And in fact, this has been one of the major agendas of the state government, the BJP-led Sarbananda Sonowal government. In fact, they had promised and kind of a poll promise as far as the BJP is concerned that they would make all Hotras, those are the Vaishnavite places of worship, they would relieve all the land of Hotras which has been encroached upon, and they have been doing that. So this particular proposal is part of the larger promise made by the BJP, made by the Sarbananda Sonowal government. So if in fact, the directive, in that particular directive to the deputy commissioners and the subdivisional officers, it specifically mentions the Shatras and archaeological or heritage among others. So whatever encroachments has happened in these sites, in these land as well, has to be surveyed. However, this order exempts the 3 hill districts of Karbi Anglong, West Karbi Anglong, and Dima Hasao, as well as the 4 Bodoland territorial administrative districts of Kokrajhar, Chirang, Udalguri, and Baksa. The move follows the recent directive of Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal to the Revenue and Disaster Management Department for carrying out a survey of encroachments on government lands in Assam. So that is one of our top story in today morning's The Sentinel. The next big story, of course, that we have been reporting is about the Baghdad Oil Bell, that the blowout took place way back on May 27th. Then the fire took place on June 9th, and the oil India authorities since then had made several attempts to cap the burning well. And it is only finally in their 3rd attempt that they got lucky. And it was yesterday that finally they managed to put the blowout BOP, that is called the blowout preventer, on the well head. And now what the oil authorities are saying is that it's another matter of maybe 24 hours and they will be able to cap the, they have already capped the well, they will be able to douse the fire. That's expected to take about 24 hours. So those are pictures from the site. In fact, the engineers, the officials, they're giving a thumbs up, celebrating the success yesterday, because earlier 2 attempts, they had utterly failed. One attempt was July 10th, the next one as early as July 31st, and the next one as early as August 10th. And in fact, in one of the attempts, there was an explosion that took place, and the foreign experts who have been brought in by Oil India and the government of India to douse the fire there in oil well, Baghdad Oil Well number 5, they in fact suffered injuries, burn injuries as well, but hopefully those were minor. Thankfully, those were minor injuries, and they were given first aid in the hospital, and they walked out of the hospital all safe and hearty. Now, after 2 unsuccessful attempts to cap the Oil India Limited BGR5 blowout well at Baghdad on the Dumduma LAC in Tinsukia district, that is Oil India Limited, finally succeeded in capping the well on Monday. A press release issued by the Oil India on Monday stated the well capping operation was initiated this morning, and the capping blowout preventer stack was successfully placed over the well head. The 6 studs have also been tightened. The preparations for killing operations are on. That means the dousing of the fire, the BOP or the blowout preventer, and the lines connected to it are being kept cool through continuous spraying of water. So this is what the Oil India Limited had said in its statement yesterday. Now, Oil India Limited spokesperson Tridib Hazarika told the Sentinel that killing fluid, which is mud, would be pumped through the BOP with great pressure. Monday's successful step was initiated following inspection of the wellhead on Sunday after allowing sufficient setting time for the second installation of liquid resin that was placed on top of the casing slips in an attempt to create a temporary pack off of the annular section. So this is absolutely technical stuff that they have shared with the Sentinel, the oil officials, explaining how they had started the process, what all they have done, the steps being taken to first cap the well head, and now the process has begun to douse the fire. So after 83 days, in fact, today would be the 84th day, hopefully the Oil India Limited experts will be able to cap that fire that has been blazing since June 9th. Extensive damage caused to the environment in and around that oil well, and also thousands of families, they have been affected. The National Green Tribunal had directed Oil India Limited to compensate each of these families depending on the extent of damage caused to them because of the oil blowout. Now, the compensation that Oil India Limited has been asked to pay by the Green Court ranges from 2.5 lakh rupees to 25 lakh rupees. And like I said, the compensation amount would depend on the extent of damage that particular family has suffered. Now, the other story in today morning's daily is about the upcoming Assam elections next year, mid next year, which is around April, May. Elections, the state assembly elections are scheduled, and the Election Commission of India has announced the schedule for the special summary revision of photo electoral rolls 2021 for Assam. The next assembly election stated in April 2021 will be based on this revision. State Election Department sources said that the integrated draft electoral rolls will be published on November 16th. Claims and objections on the draft can be filed from November 16th to December 15th. Special awareness camps among the electorates will be conducted on 2 Saturdays and Sundays within this 1-month period. The Chief Electoral Officer of the state will finalize these dates. Disposal of the claims and objections will be done by January 5th, 2021. The final photo electoral rolls will be published on January 15th, 2021. So once you go to our website, that is sentinelassam.com, there too you will find all the details regarding this particular news. The Election Commission of India announcing the schedule for the special summary revision of photo electoral rolls for 2021 Assam elections. Either you pick our newspaper, the Sentinel, today morning's paper, or you log on to sentinelassam.com for all the stories and news updates there, and you will get every update. Now, the Assam Governor, Professor Jagdish Mukhi, he was in Kokrajhar on Monday at Jharbari, and he was there as part of a tree plantation drive. That is something the governor has been doing. In fact, he has been voicing a lot of concern about the deforestation that has been happening, the smuggling of wood, which is very, very rampant in the Boroland Territorial Council areas, So that's the tweet from the governor's office on your screens. So the governor was one more time there, and he's now ruling the BTC because there's governor's rule. The Bodoland Territorial Council elections are also pending because of COVID. The elections were deferred and governor's rule imposed there. Now, the governor there during his Kokrachar visit on Monday told media persons that his duty was to give a good administration system to Bodoland Territorial Council or BTC so that there would be no corrupt practices or other laxities. Now, like I said, the governor has been making frequent visits to Kokrajhar and other Bodoland Territorial Council areas. He has been meeting the people there. He has been taking stock of all the economic activities that has been going on. And he has been stressing on the need for good governance in these areas. He has been taking part in the tree plantation drive. The government's target of planting 40 lakh trees is what he is working towards, and has been requesting the locals also to take part in tree plantation drive. Now, let's move on to stories from the other northeastern states. Now, first news from Arunachal Pradesh. The Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has selected Itanagar, the capital city of Arunachal Pradesh, for implementation of the Nagar Van or the Urban Forest Scheme. The Nagar Van scheme, being launched by the ministry, and envisages creating forests in 200 urban cities. And this is across the country. That is something that the Central Environment Ministry has taken up. So the 200 urban cities across the country on public-private partnership basis, the urban forests would be created. And as far as the Northeast is concerned, the ministry has picked up Itanagar, the capital city of Arunachal Pradesh, to create one of these urban forests, or Nagar Van, as the government has called it. The ministry would offer an initial grant of 2 crore rupees for fencing, maintenance, and administrative costs of the earmarked land to be developed. Attending a meeting of the ministry chaired by the Environment Minister, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, through video conferencing on Monday, Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu informed that as there are only 2 urban cities in the state, that's Itanagar and Pasighat, the state capital has been selected for implementation of the scheme this year. So, very interesting scheme that's been announced by the Central Environment, Forest and Climate Change Ministry. And good thing for Itanagar. Anyways, Itanagar is a beautiful city. Arunachal itself, in fact, most of Northeast is all lush green and beautiful. And this would be another good thing for the state of Arunachal and city of Itanagar. Now, news from Mizoram. Human skulls and bones believed to be several decades old were found in western Mizoram's Mamit district. This happened on Friday, officials informed. Mamit District Deputy Commissioner Lalrozama said that these human skulls and bones were found in the evening while clearing the debris of a landslide. So those are the skulls and bones on your screen, viewers. That's the photo that has been shared by the Mizoram government after the recovery done. This was recovered while the government was clearing the debris after a landslide took place. The landslide happened by the roadside, and while clearing the debris, this is what came out, and that's the picture up on your screens. After collecting all the skulls and bones, they would be sent to the State Forensic Lab in Aizawl for examination and identification. These skulls and bones seem to be of 12 or 13 adult persons, while one seems to be of a young person. But this is a preliminary idea, and of course the government said that it cannot share much more details without proper investigation. Now all the bones and skulls would be sent to the Aizawl Forensic Lab for further investigation. But pretty interesting news coming in there from Mizoram. Viewers, I'm sure you remember we have been reporting about that baby, the 3-day-old baby who had died in in Tripura, Tripura's capital, Agartala's leading hospital, the GB Pant hospital there. The 3-day-old baby had died, and what the baby's parents said that the death happened after one of the nurse came in for doing swab testing for COVID, and after the nasal swab test was done, the baby started bleeding from the nose, and within hours, the baby passed away. A investigation team was set up, a committee, high-level committee was set up by the Health Department of Tripura, and now that story still continues. And here is what we have reported in the Sentinel this morning. The father of a 3-day-old baby who died in a Tripura government-run medical college on Thursday alleged that he began bleeding after a nurse carelessly inserted a nasal tube to take samples for a COVID-19 test. GB Pant Medical College and Hospital Superintendent Debashish Roy said that a 3-member committee was formed to probe the death and related matters. The committee, comprising senior doctors, will submit their report in the middle of next week. However, the family members of the kid are yet to submit any formal complaint over the incident. Now, that's pretty interesting. However, the government authorities have set up the committee and the report is awaited. So we will continue bringing you news on this particular story as and when the committee submits its report. Moving back to Arunachal, update on the COVID situation there. 43 fresh COVID cases have been reported in Arunachal. Altogether, 43 more persons, including 14 security personnel, have tested positive for COVID-19 in Arunachal Pradesh, raising the state's total caseload to 2,701. This is the update as on during the past 24 hours. 43 fresh cases, and the total number of positive cases has gone up to 2,701 in Arunachal Pradesh. In Meghalaya, 44 new cases recorded, 40 of them being from East Khasi Hills. So there too, the numbers just going up. Both, in fact, these are all numbers from in the last 24 hours. The number of recoveries in Meghalaya stands at 679 till Monday afternoon. So that's the update and the stories that we have for you this morning from this morning's The Sentinel, the Daily. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining me this morning, and do log in to the sentinelassam.com for all the news and updates. We will continue bringing you all the news that happens across the state and the region, the nation, and the world. And do subscribe to us in our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. You will find all our stories and our videos in all of these platforms as well. Thank you once again. Till we meet again, take care, stay safe, and have a great day.